All right.
Now they can hear you.
Welcome to our third and final film study, number 3. Just as the teams have been studying game film of their opponents and themselves, we are going to continue studying game film as officials. So those of you in the room, welcome. We'll be live on YouTube till about 8:30. And then after 8:30, those of you who are here at Tanner's, if you do have questions, if you have more plays you want to take a look at, I'm going to be here till 10 for your assistance as well. So from 7 to 8, what we are going to go over is grading. And then there's 3 other plays that were turned in the previous week from Cruz to go over. And then at 8 o'clock, Nate Newhouse, supervisor of football officials and sports officials in the state of Nebraska, will join us via Zoom to answer questions. If there's no questions ready, we have 5, maybe 6 questions ready to rock and roll. So grading. Grading is an important process, and the first thing that we tell officials when it comes to grading is create a Google Sheet. So right now I created a Google Sheet, and this is active 24/7, 365. And the benefit of that is not every crew member has the same availability with family, work, hobbies. So officials could get into the game film at different times. Referees or whoever's organizing it, just put a deadline. Hey guys, let's do our part by Tuesday midnight. All right, so when your game's over on Friday, Nate Newhouse and myself share the film Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. You now have till Tuesday midnight to do your portion. And what I mean by portion, the 2 ways to do it is you split it up into 5. So total number of clips in the game I chose was 150 plays divided by 5. Okay? And then you just color code it. The other way crews have done it in the past is umpire quarter 1, head linesman quarter 2, line judge quarter 3, back judge quarter 4, and the referee will review everything. All right, so that's, as a crew, typically the best way to create it. And people then ask, well, how do you create a Google Sheet? Most people have a Google Drive. If you don't have a Google Drive, you go to google.com and you create a Gmail account. And then once you get your drive, you just click New, you click Google Sheets, create and share. And then when it comes to sharing, let's say here, PSOA form, save, and now I could share it to whoever I want to share it with. All right, so whoever's my football crew that week will have access to this Google Sheet. The great thing about this, you talk about a safe environment to share information. Only the people that have access to this sheet get to see it. All right, so I can't be like, hey, I'm going to copy paste this link and everybody could see it. They can't. All right, so if you're worried about sharing it and who could see it, that's sort of the way to protect it and to create that safe, quote-unquote, learning environment where you could share openly within your crew. All right, so I picked Westview versus Grand Island last week. So number 1, I'd like to thank the crew. I gave them a heads up that I was using their game film the first quarter to do this activity. So thank you to the Meade crew for allowing me to do it. And the reason I chose this game was I asked my son SJ, I tried to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We watched the game film as an athlete, and we watched the game film as an official. All right, so he wants to sort of learn from this game as well. So when we go over these plays, there's nothing really pointing out a player, but if you're watching this from Westview or Grand Island, that is not the purpose at all. And then when it comes to the officials, it is true education component only. So the next thing, we create the Google Sheet, we hand out our assignments. Now we're going to go and activate or use the information given to us. So I always tell myself, I want to read the comments before watching the film. Because if I watch the film, I'm going to have that pre-notion of what I think the film was about. But clip number 1, referee, do not watch the ball the entire time. Head linesman, good job watching players and not the ball. Line judge, get deeper and make it to the 20 while watching players. And then back judge, banana in towards the ball, not straight on. All right, so now I have four crew members watching the same clip for 4 different reasons. All right, so we usually focus on our position first and then others. So now I'm going to go to the library. I made the playlist for the crew. And I also put a reminder, movement while the ball is in the air. And if you have not worked with Hudl before, all it is this text box, and then you could put whatever you want. And then whoever you share this playlist with will see these notes. Again, this is a safe learning environment. The only people that can see my notes right now are the ones I share it with. All right, so like Nate Newhouse, state observers, myself, they cannot view these notes because I didn't share it with them. Okay, so that's another safe learning environment. So now as we play this play, we're going to start with the referee. So this referee slow motion, you're going to see the bill of his cap go up in the air and then look at the players, which is okay at the end. But once we get the flight of the ball, we know where that ball's going. Referees, you have the middle third. You got to make sure there's no block below the waist, no blindside block. So don't only focus on the ball. You know the flight of the ball. You know when the ball is generally coming down. And then get to the ball. You still have initial responsibilities of those blocks in the middle of the field. So then the other items that we're talking about is the back judge. So back judge mechanic. Nope, I don't want to use this. Undo. The squiggle line. We're going to come onto the field and then in. Really, 10 yards is our goal. So as this ball's going, don't remain at that 40-yard line. At this point, we should be coming inwards as a banana. And then line of scrimmage officials, umpire will start at the 20. Since it's a deep kick, work farther back as far as you could go. Head linesman starts at the 30, work farther back as far as you could go. Okay, so this is, again, crew information to share. Is it needed on this play? Absolutely not. Will there be plays where certain mechanics are needed? Absolutely. So that's why we want to remind ourselves, encourage our crew to do it properly, because my goodness, if it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line here, by mechanic, whose call is it if it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line versus goal line? Anyone know in the room?
H.
That
goes out of the 1.
Exactly.
Goes out in the end zone, it's referee's call.
And that's why that head linesman, you want to get as close to that as you possibly can and gain that ground while the ball's in the air. All right, so boom, we watched play number 1. Go back to the Google sheet. Number 2, umpire, try to get true position. 4.5 is where he placed it. And then we have head linesman, line judge, good spot, good spot. So now we're going to go to play number 2. All right, so we're snapping at position number 4. And just to go over the positions again, position 1 is hash marks closest to the press box. Position 2 is upright. Position 3 is middle. Position 4, where they're snapping it, is upright opposite press box. And position number 5 is opposite hash. Believe it or not, teams practice certain plays based on the position of the ball. So as this play goes, play is over, it's closest to position 5. So when we get the ball to the umpire and the umpire puts it down, we don't want to put it at position 4.5. All right, because coaches watching this will appreciate this. They literally have their wide receivers out a certain width because based on how wide those wide receivers are is how far defensive backs play, how far safeties play over. And we might think 1.5 yards is not a big difference, but then if somebody makes a tackle 1.5 yards versus somebody doesn't make a tackle 1.5 yards, now it's a big difference.
The other thing it helps too, if you're a referee, is knowing where the free blocking zone is if it comes to grounding.
All right, so the statement here was it's important from an official standpoint. If we know it's at position 5, now we know position 3 is the outside of the free blocking zone. Where if it's at 4.5, well, okay, now it's a little bit outside of position 3. So it does benefit your referee as well, knowing putting that ball at a true position, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. We will go back and forth one more time to the Google Sheet. We won't do this every play, but we just want to model, read in the comments first, and then going to the plays. So play number 3, point first down forward, not into the air for the referee. Good first down mechanics and keep facing the players, and good accordion by the line judge. So now we're going to go to play number 3. All right, so now this is a tight spot. Referee right now is trying to figure out, is it a first down? Is it not a first down? Now we have both line of scrimmage officials stopping the clock. The referee knows that it's a run up the middle. So there's only 2 reasons we're going to stop the clock here. Either a flag or a first down. If there's a flag, there's a funny whistle. Well, there's no flag on this play, so now the referee has the information. We have a first down, so now he could point, which is very important. Because what does the referee point now tell other people to do? Chains move. And the quicker the chains could get that communication, the more efficient the progress of play could go without messing up, moving the clip, allowing the H&L to communicate to the chains of where the next spot is. All right, so good job by the line of scrimmage here, killing the clock, hopefully get on the 0-2-0 first down, and now that referee points first down. So this is a very small thing. So when we say don't point to the sky, all right, you want to point the direction the ball's going. It's a small thing that could just make the crew look sharper, crisper. Is it the mechanics, man, exactly how to point first down? No. We just use officials that have been doing it for a long time, and there's a reason why they just go, boom, directly, straight down the field. So the next clip here, we talk about, go to the text box, double stick signal. All right, so double stick, I always call it throw them bones, being a Nebraska fan. All right, throw them bones. All right, so at the end of this play is a loss of down. We're just going to let it go, and then we're going to watch the head linesman here. He's going to come in, and as he comes in, second down, perfect. And there is the double stick signal. All right, and that double stick is a reminder to the crew. Just because the ball passed one, what do they call that? This is stick, double stick. Once it passed one stick, we're in double sticks, it's got to pass 2 sticks. And if you've been working football long enough, we've all done it, where we've stopped the clock on a double stick situation because we saw it pass 1 stick. So this is just a reminder, it's got to pass 2 sticks for a first down. So good job by the head linesman there. So this play, line judge, touch mechanics and importance of cross-field help. So we're going to have phenomenal mechanics by the line judge here in the beginning of the play. His eyes are exactly where they need to be. That catch, no catch, the grandma of the top row is going to tell that line judge if it's a catch, no catch. You do not have to officiate that. He is looking exactly at those blockers. Now, very important though, does the back judge always know if it's caught behind the line of scrimmage versus in front of the line of scrimmage? So that's what we want to give the back judge. So yes, we're not watching the catch, no catch, but we want to point into the backfield, which will save the back judge from throwing a flag for early blocking downfield. Okay, and we could do that as a line of scrimmage official, knowing the ball was thrown behind us. We know that it's behind the line of scrimmage. Where the back judge, believe it or not, they're not always going to have that perspective of did that pass the line of scrimmage or not. So that's what we mean by pointing of behind the line of scrimmage. All right, so now we're going to talk about cross-field mechanics. Is it important for this line judge to get even with this ball? Or do you think this H, who's completely safe, not going to get rolled up, not going to get hit, can he see forward progress across the field? Yeah, he could see across the field. So, line judge here could stay back. Dead ball officiate and almost prevent that from happening. Don't be so worried about the spot as a line of scrimmage official when forward progress stops in the field of play. Trust your fellow wing partner that they will get your forward progress spot when stopped in bounds. The other thing that is awesome here, dead ball officiating. You have an opponent going into enemy territory. You have a lot of officials preventive officiating. All right, so whenever opponents go into enemy territory, help your wing guys out. 3 officials is a lot more presence than 1 official. So this was a good job, dead ball officiating by the crew here. Yes, sir.
On that initial pass, is it good to try to first get the direction of the ball, make sure it's forward, and then go to the blockers? That's what I usually try to do.
Yeah, so the question is, do you want to get the initial direction of the ball right there? And that's absolutely the answer is yes. Because that is the high school rule. What is the initial direction? Since the initial direction here is forward, we don't do any mechanic whatsoever. If this were backwards, we would punch it backwards. But by us not doing any mechanic, tells the crew forward pass.
If it's forward behind the line, you don't want any mechanic.
Nope. If it's forward behind the line, the only mechanic we're doing is it was touched behind the line of scrimmage, which now allows these blockers downfield to legally block. All right, next one. Pre-snap, post-snap mechanics. All right, so this is a punt play. This referee is rolling his arms, followed by the umpire rolling his arms. That's indicating snapper protection. It has to come from the referee first because the referee has that 10 yards. All right? Has to come from the referee first. Umpires, we don't know. I'm sure the umpire here is voicing as well, snapper protection, to let the players know not to hit the snapper. So that's the pre-snap signals and what they're doing and what those signals mean. Oh, there is one more signal I forgot to talk about here. Back judges. Back judges, you want to try to get in front or next to this receiver every single time to show them fair catch signal. All right, so you're going to see this back judge does do it. He's going to come up. He's going to communicate the fair catch signal. But notice how that player's not looking at him. All right. Make sure you do it as fast as you can to model what a fair catch signal looks like. So now, post-snap mechanics, line judge, phenomenal job releasing at the snap. Head linesman is staying at the line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked, and now he's going. All right, so that's good mechanics there as a crew. Post mechanics here on a punt. How many people should be killing the clock here? Everybody should be killing the clock. All 5 officials. 4th down, we do this fist to fist, clock killer. That's reminding no matter what happens on this play, fake punt, 1st down, we're killing it. Penalty, we're killing it. Punt return, we're killing it. And this is a down ball, we're killing it. All right, so that's the clock killer, fist to fist. I don't think we had one official kill the clock there. So that's what I would be telling my crew. We all need to be engaged. Referees, this is the next play. This one's for you. This is literally the next play after the punt. Okay? Is there any hurry whatsoever to put this ball in play? Yeah, not with 2nd down after a change of possession punt. So here's my routine as a referee. I first find the ball, make sure the ball. I then find each individual official. Are they ready to officiate, or are they still setting up the chains? Are they talking to players? Are they talking to coaches? Okay. The last thing I look at is the chains. If everybody is not ready on a change of possession, I am not blowing the ready for play here. All right, because when we have the ready for play here, we have 2nd down. They do correct it, which is good, but there's going to be situations where it's missed. All of a sudden it's 3rd down. All of a sudden it's 4th down. We're officiating. We just lost track. We're not going to be able to remember the whole series. All right, so referees, do not blow that ready for play until everybody's ready, including the chains. This is another referee one. Referees, do not get in the habit of killing the clock. We're actually going to have a play later on to explain exactly why. We as referees on a 1st down should not kill the clock. But we have a 1st down, which is awesome. And the 2 officials whose judgment it is, they are killing the clock. Perfect. Perfect. Now as a referee, all we got to do, all right, there's no flags. They're killing the clock because it's a 1st down. All we have to do here is point 1st down. No reason to kill the clock as a referee. Point 1st down, get those chains moving. All right, so judgment on pre-snap movement of the offensive players. So how many times have officials in here, you hear the coaches say, the offense moved. The offense can legally move. Okay? The offense cannot simulate a snap. And then at the end of the play, we'll take a look at mechanics. So the player in question here is going to be number 6. This is the player we want to watch. And then the running back. That's the other player we want to watch. They both moved. You could even say number 6 moved abruptly. But did he simulate the snap, or is he just changing off the line versus on the line? Yeah, he forgot. And what I am determining as an official that this, I'll even call it abrupt movement, is not simulating the snap because the defense doesn't react to it whatsoever. So now we are going to call this a shift because we have 2 players shifting, running back and the slot receiver. Now they both have to come set for 1 second. We found reasons not to throw a flag, which is exactly what we want in football. We do not want to throw unnecessary flags. Find the flags that are impacting the game, impacting the play. By the defense not reacting to this, this is not an impactful, abrupt movement. So this is a correct no call by the crew here. So far we're through 11 plays, by the way. All right. And notice how most of the information is mechanics, mechanics, mechanics. If you grade your game film on mechanics and signals and positioning, you'd be surprised how much correct calls go up. I don't spend a lot of time on flags, correct call, incorrect call. All right, find the mechanics to improve as a crew. All right, play 14, pylon. I remember exactly this game and the weather this date. The pylon is down because all the pylons are down. It's windy. I get it. We're not going to stop the game and move all 6 pylons every single time they blow it down. But we're close enough here, and we have time to pick up this pylon. Another thing you could do, we got 1st and goal. What are these 2 chain guys doing? Yeah, they're picking their nose, right? Ask one of these sticks to go pick up the pylon. All right. Now it's not important on this play, but we do have a tight goal line play. Now imagine if this tight goal line play was at the pylon. That pylon now turns into an important piece of equipment for the field. So I'm not saying stop the game and pick up all 6 pylons, but find an opportunity to address that pylon that's blown down. I still think it's the sticks. They're not doing anything. The sticks are down. Have them help you. Now post mechanics. I think this crew did a phenomenal job. We have 1 official calling touchdown. We're not going up unless we're 100%. So the question is asked a lot. Does the line judge have to signal touchdown here if they don't see the ball touching the goal line? And the answer is no. They don't have to be mirroring. They don't have to sell the call. But we should also dead ball officiate. So that line judge should be coming in according in. He does not have to signal touchdown. Only signal touchdown if you are 1,000% sure you have a touchdown. Okay, so I think this crew did a great job. We have 1 person signaling touchdown. Judgment if the defense comes into the neutral zone. So this is a crew. So we go. I am going to go back to the crew Google form here. And this was play number 15. So I have play number 15, 66, good judgment. He does move but doesn't simulate the snap, which we'll get into. And then hard, abrupt movement by the offense. Defender moves. If he would have moved into the neutral zone, would we have put this foul on the offense or defense? So now this is where I have a crew. Whoever's evaluating plays, if you put a question, we as a crew should put responses. All right, so I would love to hear from the line judge and head linesman on this, or actually it's the line judge, head linesman is underneath the field goal post. I would love to hear his perspective of what would he had called had the defense enter the neutral zone. So this goes back to crew consistency. So as we play this would definitely be a crew discussion in next week's pregame. See the movement by number 66 here? He moves. It's not simulating the snap. So good job. That's not the false start. But watch what the offense does here. We have abrupt movement down, which now causes that defensive reaction. So in this watching the game film, since this hard, abrupt movement down does not cause that defender to enter the neutral zone, we don't have a flag here. But it's a great crew discussion of, man, what if that defender did enter the neutral zone? Is this abrupt movement big enough for a foul? And my answer would be yes. It would be yes, because this offensive line has not been doing this all game long. Now, I will tell you, Logan View does this every single play, every single down. So if a defender jumps into the neutral zone when they play Logan View, we're going to put it on the defense because they do it every single time. It's not a surprise. This is the first time all game the orange team does this. We're going to put that on the offense. It was different. All right. So a great crew example. Good job. If he's not in the neutral zone, no foul. But if he was, we would have a foul.
Before you leave that on the try, Sean.
Yep.
This came from a previous discussion. Have the guy, you just got the box down there on the 3. And I think the point before was what do you want to do with the box? Turn it sideways.
4th down, sideways.
Just turn it sideways.
But yep, just everybody knows it's a try now. It's not a scrimmage play. Especially with these people said it. We said it last night in the meeting. All these games are streamed somewhere, and somebody picks up the stream on this play. Oh man, 3rd down from the 3-yard line. Sweet. Why are they going for a field goal? This doesn't make sense. All right. Where if it's turned, it's a signal saying it's a try. All right, so this is an example of dead ball presence on a kickoff. You're going to see the referee do a phenomenal job. We have a touchback, and now he's running forward. All right, he's running forward because he knows it's dead. Other officials run onto the field. Because what is the kicking team? The kicking team special coach tells their kickers to do what?
Hit somebody.
Hit somebody, and if you can't hit somebody, go to the goal line. All right, well, since this ball is dead, by rule, they cannot hit anybody now. So if they see officials running at them, now they have zero excuse. Oh, I didn't know the ball was dead. Well, we're running on the field for a reason. And by the way, players do know that. When we run on the field, the ball is dead. Okay? So that's a presence comment. 3rd down, line to gain. I'm going to say suggestion here. All right, so we got 3rd down, and we're underneath 5 yards. The official that sees the box is the line judge. So at the snap, this line judge, put yourself in position, because on 3rd down, more than likely, guess what type of play the offensive coach is going to call?
Short run.
Yep, a short run, a route that's going to get him a 1st down. So line judge, since you can see the line to gain at the snap, get to that line to gain. Because had he would have caught that, we don't want him at that spot because the ball's coming at him. He's in this unsafe territory. Line judge, boom, get to that line to gain. You have a quick look all the way down that line. All right, so 3rd down, under 5, line judge goes. 4th down, if they go for it, under 5 yards, both would go. All right, importance, body language after a flag. And what we'll mean by body language after a flag, it's preliminary signal. All right, so we have a flag down. There's only one flag down. All right, and by the way, it's 4th down and 3. So now this mechanic is very important. I'm not sure if you saw what this official did, but he's going to throw the flag, and he has his arm up right by his collar. Officials, what does that mean when he puts his arm up right by his collar? He's going to the 020 microphone. But who really needs to know what this foul is? Everybody. Your crew does, head coaches do, the coaches in the box do. Players would love to know what it is. So now we know, all right, is it on the offense? Is it on the defense? What the heck is going on? So as we play this out, I don't know, because of signals of what was actually called. And the next clip, we have a 1st down for the offense. So it had to be a foul on the defense somewhere, but lack of signals, lack of communication is going to create a lot of confusion. Because like right now, if I were to replay this, only watch the defense. Can anybody find a defensive foul here? All right, again, we got confusion, right? All right, so if you have a flag, preliminary signal is huge. Let everybody know what you have. JD?
That's if you have one flag, if you have H and L.
Yeah, so if you have an H and an L, you guys want to talk first. But if you're the only flag, which this is the only flag here, just own it. Move forward. Call it. All right, offensive hold judgment. By the way, we're on clip 21. I've only cut out 4 clips of these 21. This is the first judgment of offensive hold. And then we're going to talk about let the dog eat at the end. And the offensive hold is going to come right here. And when I say judgment of an offensive hold, we are not going to spend time of is this offensive hold, is this not offensive hold, but we are going to take time. Offensive hold is not called. So us as a crew, since this was the first offensive hold judgment in the whole entire game, we better be aware of that. Because if we didn't call it there, guess what we're not going to do when Orange gets the ball? We can't call a foul now against Orange for the similar action. All right, so now let's talk about mechanics. All right, because sometimes if we do miss a foul, it's because we don't see it. So who's responsible for the tackle pre-snap? Referee. Okay? But guess where this tackle goes? Second level. You think that referee is watching that tackle anymore? No way. So now we have the line judge. You got to be the superhuman power. You got the point of attack blocks. All right, so the judgment comes on this line judge. I will say this, if you worked with me ever before, I love this no call. I love that. Okay, I think the defender lost his feet more than anything else. But the important thing is now I have to communicate that to my crew because I'm sure a coach is yelling holding. I'm communicating to my crew, I saw the block by number 77. The defender lost his feet. Perfect. Now the whole crew is on the same page. Okay, so this would be my number 2 clip as a crew review. The PAT and then this offensive hold. Oh, I didn't do the let the dog eat. This play ends outside the numbers. Back judges, we want you coming in to come get this football. We don't want to be throwing the football over players and everything like that. And back judges, if you get in there consistently, guess what number 22 will eventually start doing? He'll be giving you the ball. If you want to stand out with NSAA observers, let that back judge eat. All right, when we say eat, let them do ball mechanics. They're getting involved. Okay? Let that back judge eat. All right, before you throw the flag, love it. Okay, love your flag before you pull your flag. Because now this crew, because now I'm going to say as a crew, guys, how do we look to the masses right now? Confused, uncertain. All right, so if we don't love the flag, don't throw it. Who's the referee talking to right now? Center. So guess what? Everybody now knows what the flag was for.
Snap infraction.
Some type of snap infraction. All right, don't measure on the minor fouls. All right, and I know this is a minor foul because the next clip, referee's going to take out his flag, and we're going to talk about the wave-off mechanic here. Referees don't do that. All right, I learned this from Bill Lemonier, which was a longtime Big Ten official, worked a lot of high-level games. Put the whole entire flag in your hand and wave your hand back and forth. It's cleaner. It's more professional. All right, when you wave the flag, it's, lack of better words, it's goofy looking, and it brings too much attention to the situation. So put the whole flag in your hand and wave it off. All right, so that was the crew thing here again. Every time we throw the flag, guess who gets all the attention? The official who threw it, and then if we talk to each other, the whole officiating crew. So if we throw our flag, we got to look good when we throw our flag. Otherwise, we lose credibility. What's that?
Call whatever it is immediately. The person.
So if you love your foul, throw it, give your signal, boom, and then go with it. So by him he threw the flag, and by him not signaling, then looking for umpire, referee, and then the referee waving off the flag, then the referee talking to the snapper, we shouldn't have thrown that flag. All right, let's talk to the snapper after that play and move forward. All right, this one, stay on the ball till ready. So, Tom, this is a Zach Hunnell comment, okay? So we do not want this umpire leaving the football, because right now, what does the snapper think he could do? He could snap the ball. And by the way, look at the H. Is the H ready to officiate?
No.
This is all prevented by the umpire staying over the ball. Umpires stay over the ball until they're ready for play. All right.
Use your words to the center there.
Yes. Don't snap it. Wait for the whistle. Don't snap it. Wait for the whistle. Wait for the whistle. Now we're winding the clock. Now he can legally snap the ball. But guess what?
That H is still not ready.
This H is still not ready. All right. You have to wait until your crew is ready before you blow the ready for play. All
The
right.
clock's dead, so we shouldn't be in that big of a hurry.
No hurry when the clock's dead. Let them talk to the coach. The coach wants an explanation. All right. Next play. Yep. Oh, I missed the comment.
2 minutes till you want to stop.
All right. Forward progress, crossfield mechanics. Look how close this is to a first down. So right here is forward progress. You have the H properly staying behind the football. You have the line judge properly looking straight down the line. All right, so we're in position. So now when we know we're in position, see how the officials are now at 2 different yard lines? All right, so now we're sending 2 different signals. This is what causes frustration. All right, so line judges, this is what we would learn as a crew. Line judges, I have seen officials run literally, all the way across the field and place the ball. All right, I think that's over the top, but you can do that. Now that we have official-to-official communication, as Mike Davis calls it, C2O, all right, get on your O2O and give your fellow linesmen the forward progress spot. All right, this will prevent one official showing first down, another official showing loss or 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, and then the other official adjusting. All right, so again, it is crew trust and crew grading that is going to bring this out within a crew. Because now it's a big difference between 3rd and 1 and first down. All right. Huge difference. All right, so now we have dead ball, see the entire action. And we're going to talk about philosophy of dead ball fouls. So this is the action right here. Offensive lineman takes the defender down to the ground, lands on him. If somebody takes you down to the ground and lands on you, are you going to react to it? As a human being, you're going to react to it. And so now we have a reaction, and now we have a flag. Who are we going to have the flag on? The person that caused the reaction, or the person who reacted when everybody in this room is going to react the same way? Now, if he said something, absolutely, But now, again, officials, if it's equal action and it's football action, talk to the players. All right, so I'm going to connect this back to, we are peace officers. We are peace officials. If a police officer gives you a warning because it didn't impact the community, if we give these players, both players, a warning because it didn't impact the play, didn't impact the game, are both players now, oh, thank you. Because now this changes the game. We have a first down. That's no big deal. We have a first down. But the offense just got 15 yards. That's an impactful decision. On average, every 15-yard penalty we call will lead to 3 points. If it's on the offense, it will lead to end of possession, loss of ball. All right, so when we have a major foul, a big foul, we have to be right because it's going to impact the game. Okay, so this one right here is a crew. This would be play number 3. I would like to talk as a crew in a safe environment. Could we have gotten away with talking to both players? Do we understand why number 8 reacted the way he did? Was it well beyond? Or like Eric said, maybe he said something that warranted a UNS. We don't know. But it's good crew conversation. Play 28, stay safe and calm. All right, so this is going to be the head linesman. He's excited. He's passionate. He has the player out of bounds, which is great. Is the out of bounds spot going to change? No. Stay calm. Stay safe. He's lucky he didn't get a spike in the shin. That really stinks. All right. So we have an out of bounds spot. He's going to give the signal even to the referee. Out of bounds spot. Since it's out of bounds, that spot's not moving. Stay calm and safe. All right, so good job on the mechanic out of bounds, but don't get caught up and put yourself in danger. Play 29, formation mechanics, back judge, touchdown. I know in our, we spent a lot of time on mechanics, and the reason why we're spending a lot of time on mechanics is because Nate even put in the weekly reminders of what the most important mechanics are per position. Back judges, we said 20 and in, you're on the end line. 25 and in, where should we start?
Goal line.
Goal line. 20 and in, end line. 25 to the 20 is goal line. And this is the reason why. So we're snapping at the 23. Back judges, you are responsible for the goal line on this play. And at the most important time, you're going to have to rule on blocking. This back judge is moving. If we're moving, our judgment's going to be skewed. So if we just start at the goal line, we don't have to move. Our judgment's not going to be skewed. We have to get to the goal line anyways. I said just start there. So 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, start the goal line. Phenomenal job turning and facing the players. We talked about it on kickoffs. Now go walk towards those players. You have 2 teams, 1 happy, 1 sad. All right, that's typically when a perfect storm happens. It's like a tornado, hot, cold. Whenever you have hot, cold meat, we could have combustion. So let's have presence and prevent that combustion. PAT field goal, extra point mechanics. Again, it's all about mechanics here. You're going to see the umpire, he's rolling his arms. The umpire does not have all the information. Referees, you have to roll your arms first. Is this holder 7 yards? Is this kicker 10 yards? Is this holder's knee on the ground? So umpires, do not roll until you get that information from your referee. I'm not sure if you saw the twirl. The twirl means untimed down. And we're going to get back into timing on our last play. And the mechanics, the 2 officials underneath the uprights do a phenomenal job looking great. Come out, go up at the same exact time. When you have officials do that uniformly, it looks solid. All right, so that's good mechanics there. Timing reminders. The result of the last play was an untimed down score. How many people here write down the time of every single score? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, sweet. 6. You do? Okay, cool. Definitely always do it because it's a habit. If you always do it when you need it the most, you're doing it. If it's not a habit, you're not going to remember to do it in the important times. So now we have a kickoff. We have a muff. So when we have a muff kick, what should a official, if not two officials, be doing right now? Starting the clock, winding the clock. Then the player falls on the ball. Now we stop the clock. We have to make sure time came off the clock here. And the only really real way to do that, you take out your game card. Oh, sweet, 7:21. Sweet, 7:19. We're good. Okay, so we'll talk about end of the game. If it's a fair catch, caught, no time comes off the clock. If a player falls on it because you know they don't want the clock to start, they just want to Hail Mary it, all right, no time has to come off that clock. But whenever it's touched with an upright player of the receiving team, we have to wind it, and then we have to stop it. A lot of times where that comes up is onside kicks at the end of the game when time is of the essence. So the nearest official, so in this case it would be the umpire, number one, because he's starting at the 20-yard line. And then since the referee's looking up the middle of the field and it's the middle third, I as a referee would wind that too. Okay, so two officials should see that legal touch. All right, so that was our focus. It's 7:52. I know Nate's going to meet us at 8 o'clock. I did have two other plays turned in, one by J.D. Corner, who's actually in the room right now. And the question was, is this play, grab and jerk, illegal touching? I saved it, JD. I just got to find it. There it is, legal side block. The question was, is this block right here by number 2 legal? Anyone see what the white player just did there?
Looked at it.
He looked at him and he actually lowered like he was going to block him. So yes, originally, did number 2 start outside the vision of the opponent, which he was going to block? And the answer is yes, he is outside the vision. But now he's inside the vision. He's actually embracing the block. This is a legal side block. Okay, because the person who did get blocked to the ground, he saw it coming. It wasn't a surprise. So this was a correct no call. This is from Gary Eichmeyer. And his question was on number 7 here. And I love this because we don't talk about this type of hold. Because this isn't your normal offensive hold, grab and restrict, hook and turn, tackle. This is a grab and jerk takedown. All right, so you saw number 7 there. He grabs him, he jerks him, and throws him down to the ground. This is a foul every single time. Imagine, again, we talked about this earlier, if somebody were to grab you and throw you down to the ground, what's your temperament going to be? You're going to be mad. So now all of a sudden we throw a flag, now that mad feeling is gone. So this is a type of hold every single time. Grab, jerk, this would fit under the takedown category. Flag it every single time. Now, by the way, watch this play develop. That outside contain. He was on the ground. All right, it took him definitely a hold here now. Okay. All right. It is 7:55. Nate Newhouse, can you hear us? I could hear you. I will say those on YouTube Live could definitely hear you loud and clear. The officials who are in this room cannot hear you very well, but I can hear you. So if I repeat what you say, it's just so the ones in this room can hear what you're saying. All right, but definitely everybody online can hear you. So I appreciate you taking time out tonight to talk about sort of what have you been hearing, common feedback from observers and coaches through the first 6 weeks. From observers and coaches through the first 6 weeks. Turn it up. From observers and coaches through the first 6 weeks.
So, did you turn yours up? You can hear it online.
No.
All we can hear is you online.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you mean. We're not hearing him. Yeah, we can't hear him. Just tell him to stop.
Very good. And I know we're having a little technical difficulty on our end here. So I will repeat a synopsis of what you just said there, of the feedback that you got from coaches and observers. But number one, probably the most important thing that I think people need to rehear again, our numbers are up. When it comes to recruiting new officials, retaining officials that have registered new in the past 2 or 3 years, they keep on coming back. Now, whether that's through the sportsmanship is getting better, it comes with, I think, the education that NSAA provides with the summit in Kearney, the education that's provided with observers giving consistent feedback, and then what NSAA has allowed us to do, doing the weekly training tapes. It gives more education support foundation to make that learning environment better. I know we're still working on your audio here, Nate. Is there anything you think he could do on his end? Yeah, so
It's like he's not.
so are you near your phone that you're talking to, Nate? Talking into? Okay. He says talking into his computer because I could hear you.
I don't even know what to do.
But I will say what Nate just did say, and we're going to keep on working on the audio on our end, is the mentorship that we see throughout the state. So the officials who have experience helping the new officials, guiding the new officials, giving the feedback. has been tremendous. And
I wish we didn't have these technical problems. I've got about 20 to 25 minutes and I have to be back in the meeting. I stepped out of.
yeah, no worries. What I'm going to keep on doing is I'll ask the question and I'll give a synopsis of what you do give feedback here. So what are you doing currently for playoff prep?
The first step will be on Sunday of this week. I the observers, SAA observers, have been out evaluating crews, and I will seek feedback from all of the designers across the state, and we will collect information regarding the crews, and then I will put together the brackets. And it's hard to make any kind of assignments until we know who is in the playoffs and where the games are going to be. But just gathering our information and being prepared for that first Saturday, which will be in 2 weeks, is the first step.
All right, so meeting observers this Sunday. I'm gathering information of what observers have when they viewed crews this year. And then really, after you gather the information from the observers, you get the schedule after the last Friday in 8-man, after the last scheduled game in 8-man. And then based on location, that does affect where officials and which crews are going to be eligible to work games.
That's correct.
Yep. The next one is, all right, we have the schedule. What is it that you keep in mind? Because what officials get in the first round, what officials get in the second round, you also sort of got to keep in mind what's going to be the potential assignments in semifinals and championships. So how do you balance what games and who officials see early rounds, who do they see during the regular season, while still keeping the integrity when it comes to quarterfinals, semifinals, and championships?
My intent every year is to make sure that every crew, 117 crews that applied for the postseason, I want to reward everybody with at least one playoff game. And that usually takes first round of 8-man, that's 56, that's 32 games. 32 games. And then in the second Saturday, there'll be 56 games. So that's 80-some crews. And then it takes to the quarterfinals until we're finally getting everybody one game. So a lot of times, to even get 2 games in the playoffs, it's going to take a semifinal or a final. So we try to project who may or may not win, and that's a guessing game, as you can about imagine. We try to avoid seeing the same team twice in the playoffs, if at all possible. I even try to avoid, if a crew saw a particular team more than once or twice in the regular season, it's probably not a great idea to have them see a team again in the playoffs. And assigning the playoffs is a little bit like a puzzle that has changing pieces. There's a variety of different ways to assign it, and you never know what the piece of the puzzle will look like. So it's a challenge. I just hope that we have all the valuable information at hand that we can use to plug it in.
Yeah, so number one, your goal is to get every crew that applies a game. And then
17 crews.
how many crews?
117.
117 crews this year are registered and have applied for the playoffs. That's a phenomenal number. And then the next thing, it's putting a big puzzle together of, all right, you have Sean Johnston's crew who saw these teams, and sometimes Sean Johnston already seen the team twice. And so you don't want to see them in the playoffs, because whether we control it or not, everything could have been great in that game, but coaches will bring something into that playoff game from those first 2 games. So it's avoiding that commonality and trying to get crews on games where they have not seen those teams that year. So officials, I will say Nate does a phenomenal job collecting the information from the observers. When we put our schedules into NSAA, that is important, not only for the observers to come out and watch us work, but also what is going to be the best place for us to work a playoff game and have the best experience for everybody involved.
Right.
The last one, if officials wanted to reach out to you, you go to a national meeting every year when it comes to NFHS rules. And I know we've been talking about, what rules should we submit for changes, what rules we shouldn't, which rules should we support. And you get that from your observers as well on Sunday. If officials have ideas of rules that they would like to bring to your attention or mechanic changes, is there a way officials could reach out to you directly with those ideas?
Absolutely. You can give me a call at any time in the office, send me an email, work through Sean. Sean, you do a great job of representing the officials that you assign, and if as a group you talk through an idea or suggestion, well, Sean can bring it to me. But I don't want any official to ever feel like they're not welcome or they have the ability to call me at any time in the NSAA office. I will take a phone call. I will answer emails. I'm willing to talk about ideas and suggestions at any time and explain the process. Sometimes conceptually something may be submitted, but logistically it just doesn't work. And I can present maybe the history, because chances are if you have an idea, we've discussed it at the national level already, and I can give you the pros and the cons of what that conversation sounded like.
Yep. So officials out there watching this, if you do have a rule suggestion, you could contact Nate directly via a phone call at the NSAA office. Everyone should have his email. We get awesome emails every single week for those weekly reminders. Give him your suggestions. Give him the reasons why. Mechanics as well, because many times in those conversations, it already has been brought up in previous meetings where he could give you the history of the pros and cons of, yes, we have already looked at this rule, and this is why it's probably not going to pass the committee and change. This is a rule that we are looking for, and it has a good chance of changing this season. Well, Nate, those were the main questions that we did have. I appreciate you coming on tonight. I appreciate what you have done for our officials throughout the year with the weekly reminders, supporting the training tapes, and really sharing the training tape clips with myself and getting that feedback from the state observers to give not only what you want, but what's best for the state of Nebraska when it comes to high school football. So thank you for all you do. We do have one other question here.
Yeah, Nate, when you guys observe, when you evaluate crews, is that strictly in person or do you do some of that on huddle?
So the question was, do you have observers only observe in person, or do you have people who watch huddle to give you feedback on officials working?
Generally, if you receive a formal evaluation, like on the paper that you then get electronically through your login page, those are going to be in-person evaluations because our observers get there. They want to see the 30-minute pregame. They want to see what happens on dead ball. They want to see what happens on timeouts, and then half times, quarter change, and generally off film, that's cut off. That's not on film. Now, we may look at huddle to review mechanics or look at a crew and maybe gather some more information, but an official evaluation live and in person.
All right, so the answer is the formal evaluations is in person. All right, so and the big reason why is when you go to huddle, you lose track of all the dead ball officiating in between quarters, halftime, 30 minutes before the game. How are we interacting with coaches, and how are the sideline management? I know that's huge when it comes to postseason plays, that sideline management. So the official observations that they gather information with are in person. All right, Nate, I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the time out in Western Nebraska and travel home safe here throughout the week.
I appreciate it, Sean. Hey, I want to say thanks to Sean again. Hopefully everybody can hear me. That keep doing what you do. I really appreciate it. The state of Nebraska appreciate it. I hope you're seeing some of the official appreciation stuff that we're doing this week. We're getting some good hits on social media. I hope you're feeling it live and in person when you go out to work this week. So good luck and keep up the hard work.
All right. Thanks, Nate. You have a good one.
Take care.
All right. So the last thing he was saying there was it is Officials Appreciation Week. So has everyone just with sub-varsity football has seen anything different with Officials Appreciation Week? All right, one volleyball match. So, all right, so just I know it feels awkward sometimes when we actually are shown appreciation for Sports Officials Appreciation Week, but a lot of times we complain about the other thing and people don't appreciate us. So be thankful when appreciation is shown. We don't get it every week, so enjoy the week that we do have when we do get it. I will end the meeting here on the last play. So on our training tape, we posted a hit, and it's not a gruesome hit, but it's a fairness hit. Class C. And I put in the comment section of please reply back to which foul you would call. Because we definitely have a foul on this play. We 100% have a foul on this play. All right, so we're going to be watching the contact on number 84 here. All right. So first we got defensive holding, which we go over in the training tape. But this is the big one. All right, what type of foul? Defensive pass interference, block in the back, illegal blindside block, illegal use of hands. So let's talk rules first. For it to be defensive pass interference, when do those restrictions start? When the pass is thrown. Okay, so remember that. When it comes to block in the back, by definition, where does that initial contact have to happen? Between the shoulder blades. When it comes to illegal blindside block, all right, what makes it illegal? All right, forcible, outside the field vision, and it's not led with two hands. Did anyone even know there's a rule, illegal use of hands? Okay, illegal use of hands. There is a rule under Rule 9, illegal use of hands. All right, so as we play this, when the contact is made, where's the ball? In the quarterback's hand, so that takes off defensive pass interference. Where's the contact made? On the side, so that takes off illegal block in the back. So now as we go, what did he block with? His hands. All right, so man, there goes the first three. We don't have a blindside block, we don't have a block in the back, we don't have defensive pass interference. And that's where that rule comes in. Any eligible receiver who's no longer a potential blocker, you cannot hit them. It is illegal use of hands foul. All right, still a 15-yard penalty. No, it's a 10-yard penalty. All right, it's a 10-yard penalty, just like holding. All right.
Signal now, right? They changed that signal.
Yep, and it is. Nope.
It's just holding now.
It's just a holding signal.
It's holding now. They changed it this year.
So you're thinking NFL, Tom. This is illegal block in the back in high school. This is illegal use of hands in NFL. For this play, this is called illegal use of hands.
So if you have the use of hands, or like the defense player comes up into the face of a blocker, that's
No, that would be personal foul. So this play is personal foul. Comes up right in the face of the blocker, boom, takes him out.
They changed it to 43.
Okay, so let's go Rule 99999. And then we're going to go to the signal. Okay, so the rule is Rule 923D, and it's 923 illegal use of hands and arms. It is signal 43.
Is it down? Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right, Tom. You're
That's
right.
43.
So signal 43 is
Used to be
the block in the back, illegal use of hands. All right, so
It's
Uh,
it's the same.
yeah, so it's the same signal. Boom, illegal use of hands, aka the block in the back. But the correct ruling on this, the rule reference, because coaches will be like, well, it's not defensive pass interference, it's not block in the back, it's not blindside block. He actually uses his open hands, and it's not forceful. He just pushes them, he shoves them. But like when you watch this play, it's like this got to be a foul.
Gotta be something.
I mean, it's almost leads to an interception. All right. So that goes back to that rule, illegal use of hands. And what makes him no longer a potential blocker is he's not facing the opponent. He's not looking to use his body to impede the opponent. And that's why we put up here, blocking is an obstruction opponent by contacting him with any part of the blocker's body. The receiver's not a potential blocker. He's not looking to use his body to impede the opponent.
Isn't it when the receiver's on the same yard line with the defender, he's no longer a potential blocker?
Philosophy, yes.
There's no rule reference.
No rule reference in NFHS on that. All right, so this is a foul, 10-yard penalty.
What rule number was that?
The rule number was 9.
923.
D. 923D was the rule reference.
It's a live ball foul.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the ball's still live. Yep. All right, so in this case, it'd be a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It would result in a first down. All right, results in a first down. All right, so the whole purpose of this training film study was grading. When we took a look at that Westview versus Grand Island game, I hope you took away how to create a sheet, how to separate responsibilities, and then how to use that Google Sheet in a safe learning environment within your crew. All right. So thank you for taking time out with PSOA today. Those of you who are online, we are going to end the broadcast. Those of you who are in the room, if you have more questions or plays, we'll definitely take a look at it. Officials, remember, you're only as good